Hey everyone, I'm Chris and this is Cue the Credits. Welcome back to Cue the Credits, the home of everything boutique Blu-rays, physical media and the art of collecting. In today's video we are talking about another fantastic release from Arrow Video, and that is the 4K limited edition release of Falling Down, starring Michael Douglas and directed by Joel Schumacher. And I don't think that there is a more debated 90s film due to the subject matter. When it was released back in 1993, a lowly 33 years ago, it was controversial. Now, it might be more controversial because of that subject matter. Because depending on who you ask, Falling Down is either a dark satire, a psychological character study, or one of the most misunderstood films of its era. And after watching this 4K restoration, I can definitely say that Arrow has given Falling Down the love it greatly deserves. So in today's video, we're going to be doing a couple of things. We're going to be unboxing it, we're going to be taking a look at the picture, the audio, and all the special features, and ask the real question, does Falling Down still hold up more than 30 years after its release? So if you're not aware of Falling Down, let's do a quick summary. It was released in 1993 by director Joel Schumacher, and it stars Michael Douglas as William D. Fens Foster, a man who abandons his car in an LA traffic jam. And if D. Fens was doing this in the 90s, God knows how he'd feel about the 2020s traffic, because that LA traffic is nothing to joke about. After he has abandoned his car, he goes on a journey across Los Angeles to get to his daughter's birthday party. And along the way, he is being pursued by the retiring police detective played by Robert Duvall. What I found really fascinating about this film is that it's constantly challenging you as the audience, and it asks you to empathize with Foster's frustrations, which kind of in the 2020s are even more relevant, before slowly near the end realizing that this isn't someone you should idolize. And I think that's why people are still talking about this to this day. It's why it is clipped so much, or certain scenes out of this film is clipped so much and circled around social media. It is very relevant. So now you know the general premise of the film, let's talk about what you get inside this packaging. So let's unbox this, shall we? Straight into this then, we have got the iconic Falling Down poster there with D-Fens and the briefcase and the shotgun standing on the steps. It is just an iconic cover, and you get the adventures of an ordinary man at war with the everyday world. It's kind of cool. Onto the spines, we've just got Falling Down in white and red. I think this is going to look great on the shelf because it's just quite striking. And then onto the back, I'll let you have a read of that. We get a little blurb there, and then all of the contents within the special features, which is quite nice. And then of course got some Dolby audio on there. There is Dolby Vision in this as well. So taking the slip cover off now, we have the same artwork, and this is quite strange for Arrow, because if I open this up and we take the artwork out, we actually have a shot of D-Fens there, but we've got a black 4K case, so we can't actually see the art that they've included there. But you know, it's nice. Maybe switch out to a clear case, but still, this is exactly the same as what you get on the slipcover. So inside the case, we get the disc here with the same artwork, and then we get a little 23-page booklet here, a little Rumble in the Bronx as well. 23-page booklet, which just has a couple of little essays, a bit of Robert Duvall there, and then of course, you know, the things that you get with all of the Arrow releases. And then we have some about the presentation there, so if you want to read those side of things. And that lovely shot of Michael Douglas. And then Robert Duvall's little hat. That's a 23-page booklet, so nothing crazy, but it's nice to have in there, and the essays are a decent read. And that is everything that you get on this 4K limited edition of Falling Down from Arrow Video. Let's talk about the video and audio, shall we? I mean, it's all right, isn't it? It's a small box Arrow release. There's nothing massively to it. Let's see whether what's on the disc makes up for what it's lacking on outer packaging. So how does the film actually look? In one word, excellent. This looks fantastic. Arrow Films has created this brand new restoration that has been approved by the cinematographer of this film, and I'm going to put their name right here because I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. And it is all presented in a wonderful Dolby Vision and HDR10. The image is incredibly filmic and it really pops out those LA streets. And talking about LA streets, Arrow just also released To Live and Die in LA. So we're getting a double dose of Arrow LA films that were filmed like 8 years apart, and it's very interesting to see the differences. And these are both great movies, so I'd recommend picking them both up if you can. But yes, the picture, the grain structure has been wonderfully restored. The very fine details that you're going to see a lot of in this film as Defense is walking through LA look incredible. You really get to pick out all of the little bits like the street signs or the signs in store windows, the rubbish on the ground, or the graffiti on the steps where Defense decides to just take a load off for a second. And because of that, and because the fact that Los Angeles is a character in this film, it just feels incredible and looks incredible. You can feel the heat through the screen with the little beads of sweat on Michael Douglas's face, the concrete that's bouncing that up, and of course the smog that LA is so famous for. I think what impressed me most is how natural this looks, and it's a wonderful restoration of the original 35mm negative. The audio was actually a pleasant surprise. So on the disc you get the original lossless stereo 2.0 mix, and you also get a DTS HD Master Audio 4.0 mix. Now you may have noticed those are both 0.0s. There's no sub being used in these tracks, and do you notice it? Not really. Falling Down isn't a massively effects driven film. It is very much a psychological thriller, but there are some effect moments, and listening to the 4.0 track you wouldn't have noticed that you were missing, well, 1 and 1. These new mixes keep those effects sounding strong, the dialogue's clear, and you get the wonderful score by James Newton Howard coming through at a wonderful restoration. Basically, it's not one of those films that is going to be shaking your room, but everything sounds so crisp and clean, it's just a good time. As for the extras on the disc, as you saw in the unboxing, this is what we've got here. But it's not packed with new stuff. We have got new interviews with James Newton Howard around the score, and a new interview with the screenwriter Eb Rose Smith, along with quite a cool featurette called Going Home, which is basically remarking Defense's trip through LA and then going through the locations now. We also get a load of archival interviews, Michael Douglas, Joel Schumacher, we've got commentaries and things like that. But it would have been cool to get like a new interview with Michael Douglas. I don't know how hard that would have been, but yeah, that would have been cool. As for the film itself, this was a first time watch for me. I've had it recommended quite a few times, and it's also been on my list on Netflix, which I just never got to. So I'm kind of glad my first experience with it was with this Arrow 4K. But I really think that this film has aged remarkably well. It still asks those really difficult questions, and it really makes you question, as I said at the top of the video, whether you side or not side with Defense. This is probably one of Michael Douglas's best performances of his career. Like, he makes you side with him and he makes you understand his frustrations so well. But as I said, the film slowly unravels and makes you realize that his frustrations don't justify his actions. And then we get Robert Duvall coming in, which I must say, and without spoilers, like the ending of the film, like probably the last 10-15 minutes, was cherry on top, chef's kiss. So good. Just two masters of their craft bouncing off each other. Brilliant. But yeah, Falling Down is absolutely fantastic. It shows you this alternate kind of reality and reasoning on why you would do things, but makes you realize that William Foster's actions are a big no, and what happens when someone doesn't confront their own failures and just lets themselves unravel into, yeah, it's a whole thing. So, final thoughts. Should you pick up Falling Down from Arrow Video on this 4K limited edition? I would say absolutely. This is retailing for $24.99 in the UK, and it is worth every penny. This looks great, it sounds great, it's got a decent amount of special features, but not anything crazy. You get a nice little booklet in there as well, and of course you get the slipcover. This is just a good pickup. So those are my thoughts on Falling Down from Arrow Video. Have you seen Falling Down before? If you have, what do you think of it? If you haven't, has this video made you think about picking it up and going on an adventure through LA with Michael Douglas? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Cue the Credits. I really appreciate you taking the time to talk movies with me. Remember to do all of the YouTubey stuff, like, comment, subscribe. If you're watching on mobile, there'll be a hype button down there, so I'd appreciate if you'd click that hype button. And also remember to share this video with your friends, people who, you know, don't like not getting the right burger in a burger joint. Yeah, it's a bad time. And as always, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace!